Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if you guys are new here, hi, hello, my name is Miguel, but some people call me Milo. And today we are going to be reacting to one of my favorite channels, Snarled, and I believe I talked a little bit about this in my last video. I believe it was the TikTok one. I ended up coming across the 8-foot tall woman, and then it bring me back to the something scary little thing that they have. I absolutely love this. I've been a very, very, very big fan since I was like 9. And honestly, just hearing the want to hear something scary is what's bring all of the memories back. And I was like, okay, well, let's do a video. Why not? I'm a YouTuber. Like, why don't we just share some of my favorite YouTube channels with you guys? So we have, I believe it's 4 right now. If I add more, then I'll probably add more. But we have 4 right now. And yeah, so let's get on with the video. Again, really sorry for the whole setup. I've been dealing with some stuff, so we've been moving around to like different spots. I haven't had one like real setup, and if you guys see an ear with a microphone on it, I have my Stitch piggy bank thing, and it has my microphone on it. So yeah, also you guys can comment down below what other videos you guys would like to see. I am trying to get back into more reactions and TikToks. I kind of had to step away from the creepypastas for a little bit just because I am having a little bit of a harder time reading. I've just been dealing with like a lot of health issues, and reading right now isn't really working for me. My dyslexia is been flared up because of other things that are going on. So yeah, but if you guys do want me to read more stories, I will try to, and if I stutter a lot like I am doing now just talking, I am really, really sorry. But yeah, so let's get on with this video, and I will link their channel in the description box below. Some of these are pretty old. I think they still had shoot, I forgot her name. Was it Sapphire? I think they still have her in it, so some of these are still pretty old. So let's sit back, relax, and watch some scary stories from Snarl. Okay, sorry for stopping this video so soon, but why? I don't know if you guys. I have been into creepypastas and scary stories my entire life. Like, ever since I got a phone, I have been into scary stuff. But I don't know if you guys ever went through the phase of the hooked and tap stories, like those like scary apps or whatever. I might have to try to get back into doing some of those. But there's this one, it's called Zuma, and it's basically about this baby who I still can't really understand it. I think the baby is like, I don't know if she's like supernatural, if she has like supernatural abilities, but like she could tell like her parents were like trying to kill her and the babysitter and all that. You guys have to go watch it. I will link the thing in the description box below to that video. I believe his channel name is still Doug Koala, but I know he did a video on it, and it's like maybe you guys can like try to understand what that story is about. But that's kind of what this seems like is going to be, considering it says help, something's not right with this baby. Can you perform an exorcism on a kid that is not yours? I always thought you had to get the parents' consent first, you know? See, that took an interesting turn. So, what happened? The baby all of a sudden became freaking Spider Man, was on the ceiling for a little bit. The so called aunt came. Was the aunt like the demon the entire time? And how do you get the baby if the baby was, I'm assuming, still on the ceiling? That's very weird. Although I do love children. I am an older sibling. I love babies dearly. Like, I'll protect them. If I see a baby and nothing is medically wrong with that baby and their eyes are white, I'm either going to, one, think that they're having a seizure, and if I find out they are not having a seizure and it's a demon, I'm kicking the baby into the wall. This is why I don't babysit.
Autopilot engaged.
So, stopping it right here. But this one is my absolute favorite one. I love this one so much. And I don't know why, because it's sad. But I love this one so much because it actually reminds me of how my life kind of is. So I will explain it a little bit more at the end of this video. But just know it's my favorite. I love it. And yeah.
Tales about technology to creepy pastas that will keep you up at night. This next volume is all about the internet. For the next few chapters, I'll be sharing some of the eeriest stories that have emerged thanks to the World Wide Web. But don't worry your little heads, they're all fiction. They all claim to be fiction.
Not all
Our
of them
first
are
chapter
fiction, that's
comes
for
from
sure.
the No Sleep subreddit written by username Scarjo. Have you ever forgotten your phone? When did you realize you
No, I haven't.
The realization probably didn't dawn on you spontaneously. More likely, you reached for your phone and were momentarily confused by it not being there. Then you did a mental restep of the morning's events. Shit. In my case, my phone's alarm woke me up as normal, but I realized the battery was lower than I expected. So I put it on the counter to charge it while I showered instead of into my bag like normal. It was a momentary slip from the routine, but that was all it took. Once in the shower, my brain got back into the routine it follows every morning, and that was it. Forgotten. This wasn't just me being clumsy, as I later researched. This is a recognized brain function. Your brain doesn't just work on one level, it works on many. Like when you're walking somewhere, you think about your destination and avoiding hazards, but you don't think about keeping your legs moving properly. I wasn't thinking about regulating my breathing. I was thinking whether I should grab a coffee on the drive to work. I wasn't thinking about moving my breakfast through my intestines. I was wondering whether I'd finish on time to pick up my daughter Emily from daycare after work or get stuck with another late fee. This is the thing. There's a level of your brain that just deals with the routine so that the rest of the brain can think about other things. Most people call it autopilot, but there's danger there. If you have a break in your routine, your ability to remember and account for the break is only as good as your ability to stop your brain going into routine mode. But I didn't stop my brain entering routine mode. I got in the shower as normal, routine started, exception forgotten, autopilot engaged. I showered, I shaved, the radio forecast amazing weather. I gave Emily her breakfast and loaded her into the car. She was so adorable that morning. She complained about the bad sun blinding her, saying it stopped her having a little sleep on the way to daycare. That was the routine. It didn't matter that my phone was on the counter, charging silently. My brain was in the routine, and in the routine, my phone was in my bag. This is why I forgot my phone. Not clumsiness, not negligence, nothing more than my brain entering routine mode and overriding the exception. Autopilot engaged. I left for work. It's a swelteringly hot day already. The bad sun had been burning since before my traitorously absent phone woke me. The steering wheel was burning hot to the touch when I sat down. I heard Emily shift over behind my driver's seat to get out of the glare. But I got to work, submitted the report, attended the morning meeting. It's not until I took a quick coffee break and reached for my phone that the illusion shattered. I did a mental restep. I remembered the dying battery. I remembered plugging it into the wall. I remembered leaving it there. My phone was on the counter. Autopilot disengaged. Again, therein lies the danger. Until you have that moment, the moment you reach for your phone and shatter the illusion, that part of the brain is still in routine mode. The day continued to bake. The morning haze gave way to the relentless fever heat of the afternoon. People swapped coffees for iced smoothies, jackets discarded, sleeves rolled up, ties loosened, brows mopped. The park slowly filled with sunbathers and barbecues. Window frames threatened to warp. The thermometer continued to swell. Thank fuck the offices were air conditioned. Still cursing myself for forgetting my phone, I drove home. The day's heat had baked the inside of the car, releasing a horrible smell from somewhere. When I arrived on the driveway, the stones crunching comfortingly under my tires, my wife greeted me at the door. Where's Emily? Fuck. As if the phone wasn't bad enough. After everything, I'd left Emily at the fucking daycare after all. I immediately sped back there and started practicing my excuses, wondering vainly if I could charm my way out of a late fee. I saw a piece of paper stuck to the door. Due to vandalism overnight, please use side door. Today only. Overnight? What? The door was fine this morning. I froze. My knees shook. Vandals. A change in the routine. My phone was on the counter. I hadn't been here this morning. My phone was on the counter. I'd driven past because I was drinking my coffee. I'd not dropped Emily off. My phone was on the counter. She'd moved her seat. I hadn't seen her in the mirror. My phone was on the counter. She'd fallen asleep out of the bad sun. She didn't speak when I drove past her daycare. My phone was on the counter. She changed the routine. My phone was on the counter. She changed the routine and I'd forgotten to drop her off. My phone was on the counter. 9 hours. That car. That baking sun. No air. No water. No power. No help. No help. That heat. A steering wheel too hot to touch. That smell. I walked to the car door. Numb. Shock. I opened the door. My phone was on the counter and my daughter was dead. Autopilot disengaged. Want something scary for your
Yeah, that one's really sad. I remember listening to this one and did not expect for the daughter to be dead. But I do feel like it is giving like a good message on routines, because I feel like that's how mine is. Like, I have a strict routine. I go by it every day. And sometimes with me, like my phone not charging or whatever, it won't disrupt my routine, you know. Like, I'll still be in routine mode. I'll still do that. So glad that I do not have the privilege to drive and accidentally do this, but this is a fear of mine, and sometimes I'll think like I have this really weird routine that I stand by every day. And maybe someday that routine might get, you know, disrupted and then something bad might happen. That's like a really big fear of mine. So just hearing this story, even though it is my favorite, it still scares me.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? So a few years ago, there was a pretty well-off family that lived in a really big house in Newport Beach, California. A mother, a father, and 2 small kids. And one night, the parents decided that they wanted a night out for themselves, so they hired a babysitter. She was maybe about 16 years old. So when the babysitter got there, the parents gave her a little rundown of what to do, and the mom pulled her aside and said, "Once you finish tucking the kids in, do you mind watching TV in our bedroom? The kids have been having nightmares lately and waking up screaming, and our room is right next to theirs, and so it's a lot easier to get to them." "Yeah, sure, I can do that." So the babysitter and the 2 small children waved goodbye to their parents. So after a few hours of watching TV, it was time for bed, and as she was tucking them in, one of the kids said,
"Please don't let the clown get us."
"Of course I'm not going to let anything."
If I heard that, even if it was just like night terrors and everything, if I heard anything mentioning a freaking clown and I am home alone with 2 kids, or even no matter how many kids, even if it was just one, I'm home alone with kids, I hear something about a clown, I don't have to see anything, I don't have to hear anything. The kids are getting taken out of the room. We are going to go chill outside. We are going to not be in that house anymore.
Happened to you. So she turned off the lights and went next door to the parents' room like the mom had asked. But the second that she stepped inside, she froze. In the far corner of the room was a clown statue. Just a really lifelike, detailed.
See, on top of everything that I said, if I was like, oh, okay, well, it's just night terrors, if I somehow tricked my brain into thinking it's just night terrors, and then I go in the room and I see a clown, the clown that the kids just warned me about, kids are getting taken, leaving out that house.
Creepy ass statue. No wonder these kids have been having nightmares, she thought to herself. So she went and sat on the bed and tried to watch some TV, but she kept looking over at the statue. Was the statue looking at me like that before? It was way too creepy for her, so she decided to go downstairs to the living room and watch TV there until the parents came back.
I would just go
So
sit
she was
in the
watching
kids'
some
room
TV
with
for a
them.
while, and then her phone rings, and it's the parents just checking in. "Hey, we're on our way home. Just wanted to check in and see how things are going." "Everything's great. The kids are all asleep and in bed. I hope it's okay, but I decided to watch TV downstairs instead. Your statue was really creeping me out." I'm sorry, what statue?" "The clown statue in your room. It's really creepy, so I decided to leave the room.
Get the kids now.
Wait, what?
Get the kids and get out of the house now. We don't have a statue.
Just then, she heard screams. She dropped the phone and ran up the stairs. The bedroom seemed so much farther than it did before. She opened the door, but she was too late.
Oh, that's so sad.
So
See,
apparently, there was a little person serial killer that would dress up as clowns and break into people's houses and murder people. I really.
see, I would go nuts on that. And just because of my little overthinking self, I wouldn't have even went into, like, if I was babysitting, like even when I'm here with my siblings, I know where they are. Just me filming this video, they are right in the next room. I could literally see one of them. So like I'm just so paranoid from stories like this, and just because I guess I'm just like a very protective person, like I would have been in that room with them no matter what. And then the little person would have died that day.
I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
Yes.
So, this is a story that my aunt told me happened to her when she was in her mid 20s. She was living in the Philippines at the time, and she had a niece who was a freshman in high school. So, one day, the high school called her and said,
You need to get over here right now. Your niece is acting really weird.
and my aunt had no idea what they were talking about. And so when she got to the school, her niece was sitting on a chair and she looked really out of it. And if anyone tried to touch her, she would violently hit their hand away and yell at them in a cold, deep voice that clearly wasn't hers. So they had no idea what to do. So they called the sheriff of the town to see if he had any ideas. And so the sheriff got there, and it was pretty clear to him that she was probably possessed by something. And so he asked her, "What are you doing to this girl? Why are you here?"
She hurt my children. She stepped on my house
Wait, how is that even possible? Where is your house?
outside of the
Is
school.
she possessed
So
by
there's this
an
Filipino
ant?
superstition that you shouldn't step on ant hills or termite hills, basically any mound of
Because the ants are gonna
ground,
get you?
because there's a creature that lives in them called the duende. Duendes are sort of
Oh,
similar
the goblins.
to elves or goblins, and they're invisible to.
Okay. I've heard of the duendes before, but I've heard of the duende being very nice to children. It's usually the like adults that they're vicious towards. I'm not like extremely like I didn't grow up with like Mexican folklore like that. I grew up with more natives. But I think I just recently learned about duendes, and
Most people, but they
maybe it
only show
is.
themselves to children or some adults that they choose. They mostly just leave you alone, but if you mess with them, they can bring you a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of bad luck and misfortune.
Yeah.
And in the worst case, death. And right outside
Hmm.
the school
Lovely.
is filled with ant hills. So unfortunately, my aunt's niece did not know about this rule. So the sheriff started pleading with this spirit inside the girl. She's just a kid. I'm sure it was just an accident. What can we do so that you will forgive her and leave her alone?
Get bananas, oranges, and salt and bring it to my house.
The duende is like, I'm hungry. You are going to be my DoorDash. That's how you're gonna get me.
So
That's how I would be as a
and
spirit.
they
Like,
got
give
some
me food
oranges
and
and
I'll
salt,
be
and then
a
they
okay.
placed it all around the ant hills that were outside of the school. And then when they went back inside the school, my aunt's niece was totally normal. Like she didn't even know what had happened. And she didn't remember speaking in any weird voice. She just thought that she like fell asleep. My aunt is a super sane person. I have no reason to believe that she would ever lie to me about this. Something that makes this story a little weirder for me is that this is not the first story about a duende that family members have told me. So my mom's side of the family used to live in Hawaii when she was younger. When my uncle was 3 years old, one day he sort of just went missing for a few hours, and so everyone was looking for him. A few hours later, he just showed up at the front door, and they're like, "Where did you go?" And he said, "Oh, I was playing with the little people." So my family is pretty convinced that the little people that he was playing with were duendes. What do you guys think? Do you think there's any logical explanation for what my aunt witnessed? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it.
No, I don't think there is a logical explanation for what your aunt witnessed. But what is super funny is that the one day was like food, basically. And I'll leave you alone. And it did. And that's how you can get rid of me and my family if we turned into spirit demon goblins. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed those videos. I was going to add one more, but I don't have enough space on my camera. So I have to cut this video short. But there is another video that I really, really wanted to share with you guys. It is called the Hachi Hakasama. It's basically the 8 foot tall woman. It's a Japanese one. So if I butchered that name, please do not come after me, Slender Woman, because I'm really, really sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment down below what other videos you guys would like to see me do. I love hearing you guys' suggestions. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day.